All those having business before the court, draw nigh and you shall be heard. God bless the great state of Ohio and this honorable court. You may be seated.
Good morning. Today's April 17th. Welcome to Lawrence County Municipal Court. I'm Judge Capper, and we're doing reviews first. So we have a few of those for people who have court orders to comply with. So if you're here for that, your name's going to get called. Come up to the table. To your right, I'm going to review your file with you. All reviews.
Chelsea Berry, Matthew Zach Lindsay, Kelly Mintz, Jessica Neal, Clayton DeMint.
Chelsea Berry has been called for, did not appear, has not finished, so there will be a warrant issued. That's case number 20825. Your name, sir?
Matthew Lindsay.
Matthew Lindsay, your name? 1545, 143402, and 141637 are your cases. You did make a substantial payment a few days ago, it looks like, a week ago.
Your Honor, if I may, I believe you're dealing with community service also.
Okay, very good. All right, I don't think everything is paid, but you paid a lot of it, so.
Yes, sir. I think I have about 900 left. I paid 1,000.
Okay. So your work schedule, is it better Mondays or Fridays?
Fridays would be better, sir.
Okay, since the amount you paid, I'm gonna give you a couple months before your next hearing. So June the 16th will be your next hearing. At 1 a.m. If you pay it off before then, you don't have to come back.
Yes, sir.
You have everything finished then. June 16th, 9 a.m.
Thank you.
Your name, sir?
Clayton DeMint.
Case numbers are CRA 22-684, 2212, 21-700, 21-823, and 21-699. I've got a report from Hometown Recovery. You're in sober living now, right?
Yes, sir.
And you're working at OBP.
Yes, sir.
Okay, it's a really good report. You look good. How do you feel about that?
I feel great.
Good. All right, and you made a payment today.
Yes, sir. It should be paid off.
Okay. Yes, it looks like all your fines are paid. What I'd like for you to do, and you're going to continue, what's your plan with Hometown? You're going to continue in sober living for a while?
Yeah, I'm currently just saving up to get a vehicle and, just setting goals and working my way towards them.
Okay, well, congratulations. You've done really, really well.
Thank you.
What I'd like to do then is, I'm going to have you come back, but I'm going to give you more time.
Okay.
It was you were coming back about every month. I'm going to make it 2 months, and just to encourage you to continue on the path you're on. I think you're on the right path, and at some point I'm just going to terminate it. I won't be overseeing you. And I think you've done this, but the longer you're in recovery, the better your odds are you're going to stay in recovery.
Right.
And you're doing this for yourself and your family, and if you're doing it a little bit to stay out of trouble with the court, that's good, but at
Right.
some point you got to adopt it as your own. So.
Yeah. I was also wanting to, about the probation, I recently finished my CDCA class, but I can't do anything with it while on probation. I'm getting ready to finish up a peer support class as well. Is there anything I can do to speed that process up, or?
Well, we just started this. I mean, I'll terminate your probation when you're completed, but, I mean, and you've done really well, but you only got sentenced in January.
Right,
So,
right.
I mean, it's not even 6 months yet. So, what's the probation stopping you from doing?
You just can't get a billing number, nothing like that, yeah, till you're off probation.
Okay. Well, I'll look at it the next time. But,
Okay.
I mean, I think I need to keep that on for now.
Understood.
So, all right. I don't want you to be discouraged because I think you've done great.
No, I'm not discouraged. You know what I mean? I'm working the process.
Okay. June 16th will be your next hearing, 9 o'clock. And I'll make a note to look at terminating probation
Okay.
at that point.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. Good job. Kelly Mintz. Kelly Mintz has been called, didn't appear. We'll receive a warrant. And that's case number 20-366, 18-326. Jessica Neal. Jessica Neal has been called for, didn't appear. 21-18-73, 20-14-89. We'll receive warrants.
Your Honor, if she didn't do community service, she will.
Okay. Thank you.
Matthew Gonzalez, Samuel Losey, Aaron Sterling, Cheyenne Bennett, Brandon Losey.
All right, Mr. Gonzalez is appearing that in custody. Is there a...
Your Honor, I was informed this morning that Mr. Gonzalez has active warrants on the municipal court.
Okay. Well, let's go ahead and deal with him then, so that can be handled. Mr. Gonzalez, let's see, you've got, or are you here today on 22-377, 22-309, 22-362, 22-343, and 22-77. And have you done anything in the last month on your cases, sir? Here? I see you made a payment a month ago. Have you made any payments since then?
Planning to today.
All right, well, what I'm gonna do then, apparently you're gonna get transported and go to Iron Municipal. They have a warrant for you, I understand, so.
I understand that person.
Okay, I'll set you another review here in a month. So I'm gonna make it May the 19th, that's the closest date to a month out. May the 19th will be your next hearing, so, obviously if you're out of custody, you need to get here on your own on May the 19th for review. You still have some fines and costs to pay in this court. If you're in custody, then I'll see you on the teleconference. So, good luck to you, sir. Samuel Losey.
Yes, sir.
Case number 22-2620. Got a report from Riverside today, dated April 14th. Okay, it's a good report. Looks like you're back to work now, and
Only for last Friday, where I lost my CDLs and stuff, my company got rid of me.
okay,
I pleaded and everything else, and they hired me back Friday. So I only worked one day with them. On the ground, I'm not allowed to drive none of their vehicles, just ride as a passenger. But
Okay.
with my physical condition, if I cannot do the groundwork, then my boss said he's gonna have to terminate me with it.
Okay. Well, can you do the groundwork?
I'm gonna try my best, it hurts.
Well, good luck with that. You got a good report on your counseling, that your screens were negative for anything, and you're doing what you're supposed to do, so, and you've paid most of your fine, you still owe $75. You made a payment today, right?
Right.
Okay, so as far as I'm concerned, you're doing what you need to do. Good luck with your employer. I don't really have any, I don't have any control over what your employer decides to do with your work. That's between you and them. I'll set your next hearing for June the 9th.
June the 9th?
June the 9th, 9 a.m. Any questions, sir?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, June the 9th, 9 a.m. is your next hearing.
Thank you.
Keep up the good work, you're doing good.
Thank you.
Aaron Sterling,
Yes, sir.
2446. Is that Riverside Recovery? Good drug screens and otherwise negative screens. I like this sentence. Mr. Sterling's made great progress in treatment and became a leader amongst his peers. Thank you. So it looks like you're doing really well and about to take the next step in your treatment.
Yes, sir.
How do you feel about things?
I feel great.
Good. Okay, we'll continue to work with you. You're not working yet or anything, right?
No, I'm gonna, once I get to sober living, I'm gonna apply for Lowe's. And once I complete sober living, I'm going back to the boats.
Okay. Well, if you can get out here, because you've got some community service to do, you can get double credit on April 29th and May 6th. Both those days, you do those 2 days, you'll have 4 days of your community service done by doing 2 days.
Okay.
Because they're special projects that day. Okay, I'm going to set your next hearing. Let's see what the calendar shows. Okay, I'll set your next hearing for May the 19th.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Brandon Losey?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you got a good report from OVP where you're doing outpatient now. This case number is 21766 and 221764. And you did all your community service. A payment was made earlier this month on your funds. So it looks like you're doing well. How do you feel?
Feel great.
Good. Okay, I'm going to set you for June the 9th. June the 9th, 9 o'clock.
Thank you.
Good work, thank you. Cheyenne Bennett, case number 22513 has been called, has not appeared, and has not finished what was ordered to be done, so it'll be a one issue. Okay, that finishes the reviews we have. So the next hearings are called arraignment hearings. So these are for new cases or old cases where there was a hearing missed or something not alleged not happening the way it was supposed to. So when your name's called, come up to the table to your right, stand there. I'm going to go over the charges with you, make sure you understand. You don't have to agree with it, but you need to understand what the prosecutor is alleging. I don't decide what the charges are. The prosecutor decides those. If it's a misdemeanor, I'm going to ask you for a plea. That's your answer to the charge. The safest plea is always not guilty, because that preserves the rights you have as a defendant. What are your rights that all defendants have? The right to remain silent. You don't have to make statements as a defendant. If you do decide to make statements, everything here is being recorded. It's all on the record. Even the video is being recorded. So if you get up and blurt out something that's damaging to your case, the prosecutor can use that against you. You don't have to say anything. You have a right to have an attorney. If you're facing a jailable offense, you have a right to have one appointed if you can't afford one. You have a right to bail. You have a right to make the state prove any charge against you beyond a reasonable doubt. If you enter a guilty plea or no contest plea, you're waiving those rights I just explained. You shouldn't do that if you don't understand the proceedings, if you want to talk to a lawyer, or if you want a trial. You should enter a not guilty plea. Or if you don't know what to do, enter a not guilty plea. That's your safest plea. You can change your plea later if you wish. Call the first case.
State of Ohio versus Brandon A. Moore, case number TRD 23390, A and B.
All right, you're Brandon Moore.
Yes, sir.
All right, this was a charge of not having a motorcycle endorsement and passing on the right.
Yes, sir.
It's 23390, A and B. Okay, I'm going to dismiss this on a technicality because you should have been cited to traffic court. This is criminal court. This is for cases where there's a jailable offense. This is not a jailable offense, so I'm going to dismiss it.
Thank you.
Your case is dismissed. It doesn't mean that you now have a motorcycle endorsement or
I understand, sir.
passing on the right is correct, but you're getting off on a technicality.
All right, thank you.
State of Ohio versus Stanley D. Bennett Jr., case number CRB 23163, CRA 2646, DRC 2015-22, A and B. Did not check in, Your Honor.
All right, Stanley Bennett, 23163. Okay, and have a summons with a return of service by Sheriff's Deputy saying he was personally served with summons and complaint in order to appear today at 9 a.m. It's after 9 a.m. now, and Mr. Bennett has not appeared, so he will have a warrant issued, bench warrant for failure to appear.
He also has a warrant.
Yes. He should have been held on that prior warrant.
Yes, it was on TRC 21-5.
He's also got one on 2015-22, it looks like.
Yes. TRC. It was issued on 1/27.
State of Ohio versus Preston L. McQuaid, case number TRD 23360, A and B.
All right, Mr. Preston McQuaid?
Yes, sir.
All right, I'm going to dismiss your case also. These officers are citing people into the wrong court. This is criminal court. You have 2 traffic violations that are non-jailable offenses. You should have been cited into the traffic court. This is a different crime. So your case is dismissed.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
State of Ohio versus Ronnie Pfeiffer, case number CRB 2395.
And sir, you're Ronnie Pfeiffer?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Pfeiffer, it's alleged that at Fayette Township on February the 2nd of 2023, you purposely deprived Walmart of property without their consent. That's a theft offense. Maximum penalty for that is 6 months in jail, $1,000 fine. Do you understand the charge?
I plead not guilty, sir. I need to speak with an attorney if seen fit.
Okay. Do you have the money to hire a lawyer?
I do not, sir.
Are you working?
Currently, no.
When's the last time you worked?
Walmart.
Okay, you were an employee at Walmart?
Yes.
So that's been since February since you worked?
Okay.
All right, I'll appoint Mr. Stratton to represent you. He's here. We'll get him in the courtroom for you to meet.
Yes, sir.
Good morning, Mr. Stratton. This is Ronnie Pfeiffer. It's a theft offense from alleged theft offense from Walmart, and I understand he was a Walmart employee. I'm entering a not guilty plea for him.
Yes, sir.
I'm looking to set new cases for pre-trials in May. And it looks like the 8th or after of May.
Oh, good, yes, yeah. We just set a jury trial for the 1st, so not the
Okay.
1st.
Yeah, that's a pretty busy date already.
Yeah.
Any of those dates work for you then?
Any of
them?
those dates,
Let's make it the 8th then, May the 8th.
Okay.
Be a pre-trial May the 8th at 10 a.m.
Did you postpone?
He has not, I don't see a bond.
Okay.
He can sign a $1,000 signature bond.
Get you a sign right there.
Next hearing is May the 8th,
They did.
10
All right,
o'clock.
thank you, Ron.
You're welcome.
Does that put me on bond or something?
I'll trade up. Just walk out here.
State of Ohio versus Laron C. Beach, case number CRB 23162. Laron C. Beach. Did not check in.
All right, Laron Beach has been called for. There is a return of service, personal service, ordered to appear today at 9 a.m. It is a jailable offense. It has not appeared, so there'll be a bench warrant issued.
State of Ohio versus Kyle D. Featheroff, case number TRC 23399.
And sir, are you Kyle Featheroff?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Featheroff, it's alleged that on April the 13th of this year, at 11:32 p.m. in the village of South Point, you were driving a vehicle while under the influence of alcohol and took a breath test and tested 174 on the breath test. And it is alleged this would be your first conviction if you were convicted. On a first offense, the maximum penalty you face is 6 months in jail, a $1,075 fine, and a 3-year license suspension. That's the most the court can impose on a first offense. There is a minimum that I can't go below, and that's a little more complicated, so I'm going to explain the breath test, because that has an impact on the minimum sentence.
Yes, Your Honor.
Under Ohio law, there's a per se level on the breath test, and that's 8. I'm going to drop off the decimal points. We'll just talk whole numbers. 8 is the per se level, and what that means is if there's a test score at 8 or higher, and the state, and this is a big and the state can show they comply with the rules for giving a test, including calibration of the machine and that sort of thing, then there's a presumption of impairment that attaches to the person that took the test tested over 8. The state's alleging you tested 17.4. So that's obviously over 8. Now, there's another number that's important on these breath tests, and that's 17. A test score of 17 or higher, and yours is alleged to be higher by 0.4, is considered a high test score under Ohio law. So that changes the minimum penalties, because on a first offense, there's no jail time required unless you test above 17. Then there's the minimum becomes 3 days in jail, $375 fine, and a 6-month license suspension. That's the minimum with the test score the state's alleging that you have. Do you understand all that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you have any questions about your rights?
No, sir, Your Honor.
So that was the only charge that you have. How do you wish to plead to this charge?
Guilty, Your Honor.
Well, have you talked to a lawyer?
I have not, sir.
It might be a good idea. I mean, this is a mandatory jail sentence case. I have to give you jail. And I know nothing about the case other than what I see on the complaint. There's a whole bunch of papers here underneath it, which means there was an investigation and all that. So
Okay.
I'll take your guilty plea, but I want you to understand, if you enter a guilty plea, one, it's an admission that the charge is true, complete legal admission the charge is true. And two, I have to give you jail time. So, I'm not trying to talk you out of it, but it's a serious matter, and I want to make sure you give it this consideration.
I would like to change to not guilty then. I would like to
Do you
avoid
wish to
jail.
be considered for a court-appointed lawyer?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you working?
Yes, Your Honor.
What do you do?
Chief Operations Officer for Lodestar LLC.
Are you paid by a salary or by the hour?
Salary, sir.
Well, I have to determine your gross annual income. So, do you know what your gross annual income is?
$40,000 a year.
Okay, how many people are in your family?
I have children, but I don't have full-time custody of them, so just me.
Are you paying child support?
No, sir.
Okay, well, then you make too much money for me. I can't appoint a lawyer for you.
Yes, sir.
You'll have to hire a lawyer on your own. I have a scale, I have to go, the Supreme Court sets a scale, depends on your family size and what your income is, whether I can appoint counsel. You make too much for assigned counsel. So you wish to hire counsel?
Yes.
How much time do you think you need to do that? 3 weeks?
2 to 3 weeks. Yes, sir.
Let's make it May the 8th. It's 3 weeks. That'll be a pretrial. It'll be right back here at this court, set for 10 a.m. on May the 8th. I'm going to let you sign a signature bond of $1,000, and what that means is it's like an IOU. You're signing a document that says, I promise to come to court as ordered, or I'll pay $1,000 as a penalty. And that's not the worst part, is you get a warrant if you don't show up. So when you get arrested, then you have to pay the $1,000. So just come to court. You won't have to post any money as long as you come to court.
Yes, sir, Your Honor.
Do you have any questions, sir?
No, sir.
Okay, May the 8th, unless your lawyer tells you that they've made arrangements for a different date. It'll be your next hearing.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
State of Ohio versus Paul V. Brackett, case number CRB 22-128 and TRD 05-2192.
And sir, are you Paul Brackett?
Yes, sir.
This is case case number 22128 is the new case. It's an assault charge. It alleges, this is an older charge, but it looks like it's alleged you failed to come to court initially. The complaint alleges that at Perry Township on February the 16th of 2022, you knowingly caused or tried to cause physical harm to Mary McKnight. That's a first-degree misdemeanor assault charge. Maximum penalty is 6 months in jail, $1,000 fine. Do you understand that charge?
Yes, sir.
How do you plead to that charge?
Not guilty.
And then it's also alleged that you had a warrant for failure to appear on, and that's case number 05-2192. It was some sort of driver's license issue that you didn't complete the payment of your fines and court costs. And there was a warrant on that also. And you have posted a bond now. You apparently got arrested on the warrant and then had to post a bond.
Yes, sir.
Do you wish to be considered for a court-appointed lawyer?
Yeah.
Do you have a job?
No, I'm on disability.
Social Security is your only income?
Mhm.
I'll appoint Mr. Thompson. Mr. Thompson, this is Paul Brackett. He's got an older assault. An assault charge is about a year old, but it's alleged that the initial arraignment. He has a bond up now. He got arrested on that warrant. And he's got an old case on a driver's license issue where there were some fines unpaid. Both are before the court. I'm setting cases on May the 8th or thereafter in May.
Any Monday.
Let's make it May 8th.
Okay.
May the 8th, pre-trial, 10 o'clock. His bond is continued.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Meet me up there. Meet me outside there.
State of Ohio versus Ashley.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Atkins.
You're welcome.
Case number CRB 23169.
And you're Ashley Atkins.
Yes.
Do you have an attorney now, ma'am?
No, I brought papers showing that we made under 40,000.
Okay, I'll take a look at that.
Okay.
So you're asking for a quarter of $10,000.
It's on the top page, but there's all of them.
This is,
It's under my husband's name.
do you have any children?
Yes,
I mean,
one.
okay, you are eligible for court-appointed counsel. I'll appoint Attorney Roger Smith. Mr. Smith, this is Ashley Atkins. It's a Walmart theft offense. I'm appointing you. I can set this May the 8th or sometime after that. What's your schedule?
I know May 8th is not good, Judge, but I'll have something after. Let me pull up my calendar. I am here on the 15th of May.
That one's pretty booked.
Is
You
it
got
booked?
something after that?
I could do it that Friday.
19th.
Yes, the 19th
That's
is fine.
better. May the 19th will be the next hearing. It'll be for a pretrial at 10 o'clock. Okay, we're ready for pretrials. We need
Thank you, Judge.
Officer Smith, are you ready for your pretrial?
I am.
Okay. You're here, so you get called. I need the prosecutor to come in.
Thank you so much.
State of Ohio versus William S. Gore, case number CRB 22408.
William Gore is Mr. Roger Smith's case set for pretrial. He's at Bethesda.
Judge, this is a case where he was admitted to Bethesda 6 months ago, October 24th. I understand he is now graduated. I think we're in a position that this charge could be dismissed if the state's so inclined.
Is this that misdemeanor one?
Yes, the M1 position.
We had discussed that previously, Your Honor, the possibility of doing that, and he was supposed to have his graduation by now. And if that's happened, we wouldn't have an objection to dismissing the case.
Is he considered approved?
Yes.
It is a good report from Bethesda, so, and is that without cost then? Or-
Yes.
All right, case will be acknowledged at this point. Congratulations, Mr. Gore.
Thank you.
Good work.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
State of Ohio versus Troy L. Shockley, case number CRD 236 and TRD 15810, A, B, and C.
This is the gentleman I mentioned earlier today. He's deceased. The state's going to dismiss it. We did receive confirmation of his passing.
That's correct, Your Honor.
Case will be dismissed. Defendant is deceased.
Yes.
Yes.
State of Ohio versus Christopher Smith, case number CRB 22741, A and B.
Mr. Smith is at your side.
He's got some work to do, Judge, apparently looking at this report.
And is he willing to do the work, I guess, is the question.
Yes, sir, for sure.
It says your screen was good, but you didn't meet your requirements as far as counseling sessions.
Right, sir, not yet. Just a little bit more time.
What's the state's position on it?
Well, we're willing to give him more time. We want to be sure that he's actually not just going through the motions.
Yes.
And the thing is that, you know, he's a young man, and the situation that started all this was frightening, according to what everybody said. And so we don't want him to live a life like that. We want him to go forward and live a quality life. And so we want him to do the treatment and take it seriously.
May 19th?
Yes, sir.
May 19th will be the next hearing.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Let's get a better report next month.
Thank you, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, but you got it. Okay.
State of Ohio versus Joshua Clay, case number CRB 23118.
Yeah, Roger.
Mr. Cremines' case set for pretrial.
Your Honor, I was just retaining this matter. If we could set this for one more pretrial, maybe May 22nd. I've spoken to the prosecutor about this, and he's okay with that. If we can't resolve it then we'll probably pick a trial date.
Stay agreeable with that?
Clay? Yeah, we don't have a problem with that. Did you say you filed discovery? Okay. We don't oppose that, Your Honor.
May 22nd, at the defendant's request, will be the next hearing for pretrial, 10 a.m.
10 a.m.
Unless it's a trial or a motion hearing, if that's the case, it'll be May.
State of Ohio versus Angela Kelly, case number CRB 22787.
May.
You did an entry? Continuance entry, you already had one.
No, I haven't yet.
Angela Kelly is Mr. Cremines' case set as a pretrial.
Yeah, that's what we got.
Actually, can we have this case recalled, Your Honor?
Yes, case will be recalled later in the docket.
State of Ohio versus William Wilburn, case number TRC 23272, A, B, and C.
Mr. Cremines, you're representing Mr. Wilburn?
I am, Your Honor. I filed discovery. I've received it back. I believe I got it at the end of last week. I've not had an opportunity to go with Mr. Wilburn. If we could also set this for May 22nd.
State agrees.
Yes, Your Honor.
Defendant's request, case is set for May 22nd for a pretrial, 10 o'clock.
State of Ohio versus Dylan Hooper, case number CRB 23109.
Morning, Your Honor.
Good morning. Set for pretrial today.
Yes, Your Honor. We've had discussions with the state, Your Honor, and I believe that my client would like to withdraw his formal plea at this time and a plea of no contest on the understanding there would be a suspended jail sentence.
That's the recommendation.
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Steele, do you have a recommendation?
Well, Your Honor, it doesn't appear that Mr. Hooper has a record that would cause us to want an enhanced penalty. We're okay with a suspended jail sentence and some community service and a small fine.
Okay, well, my usual process on this, which I'll follow here, is to have them do a urine screen before I do the sentencing. So go to probation, get a urine screen, come back, and then I'll do the sentencing after I see the results.
Your Honor, we have a co-defendant in 108, I believe, Ms. Tuttle. Would we like her to go ahead and get tested as well? Should we be doing the same
Yes, State of
matter?
Ohio versus Jenica Tuttle, case number CRB 23108.
And likewise, Your Honor, she would withdraw her former plea and enter plea of no contest.
All right. I guess I should have asked Mr. Hooper and Ms. Tuttle, but do you agree with what your attorneys representing to the court?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, for Ms. Tuttle, also, I'll have you do a urine screen, then I'll do the same thing after we get the results. So both of you will go to probation and get urine screens.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
State of Ohio versus Jacqueline Dillon, case number TRD 192682 and TRC 172192, A, B, and C.
This is Mr. Smith's case.
Your Honor, I've been advised that she,
Was it part of her treatment plan that she moved out?
okay, so she moved out Friday to her own place, but now she's not answering, is that correct? Calls, text, whereabouts, right? Okay. And evidently you went to her house this morning and she wasn't there, so I asked for 7 days to try to get her in. It's a little concerning because she's under an ILC out of Crown Police Court. That's not going to go well if something's going on, so.
Well, maybe we need a warrant faster. I mean, if we're concerned with
She's
relapse.
scheduled for a hearing on Wednesday for review in Crown Police Court, so.
Your Honor, I don't know if, I want to believe that it was maybe a schedule mix-up, but she was informed and reminded of her court date Friday when she left. It was a planned leave for her to transition. I'm hoping that she is at work. I know that she had went back to work as a veterinary technician, but for multiple people this morning, she has not answered calls, texts, or...
So she should be at work now. Do you know where that is that she's working?
It is an animal hospital in Ashland. I'm not sure of the name right off.
Okay. But I say if she's at work, you can contact that establishment and see if she's there. Okay, I'll issue a bench warrant. I think it should enter today under the circumstances. I'm afraid for her safety, so I'm gonna go ahead and issue it today. Yeah.
Thank you, Your Honor.
If you can get her in, obviously I'll draw the warrant.
Yes, Your Honor.
I have approach.
Yes, you have a report. Okay, thank you. Good.
State of Ohio versus Taylor Bryan, case number CRB 23112 and CRB 20112.
Okay. And, all right, Mr. Smith, you're representing Ms. Bryan.
Yes, Your Honor. Your Honor, the state made an offer on this case. It's a Walmart theft case. I did receive discovery, but I'd like the opportunity to review it with my client. So if we can get another pretrial date set so we can either get it worked out or set the trial at that point based on what discovery shows. So
May 8th?
that's fine, Your Honor. Oh, actually, no, May 8th, I'm in trial. We can do 12th is fine.
May 12th, be the next hearing, 10 o'clock.
We're going to ask for a time waiver.
You have an order case?
Defendant agrees to waive time?
Yes. Which case is that? I believe she has another case, Your Honor, an order case.
Yes. It's 20112. It was a disorderly conduct. She's done the community service, paid some of the funds, paid something just recently. She goes $185. So I'll set it as a pretrial and review, same time.
Same thing.
Okay.
All right. Thank you, Ron.
State of Ohio versus Brandon M. Coe, case number CRB 22777.
Mr. Coe was here on the 10th. He was just to pay costs, and this was be dismissed. He did not have to appear today.
He did pay the court costs.
Yep, so.
State's still willing to dismiss.
Yes, Your Honor.
Cases involving Mr. Coe is dismissed.
Thank you, Your Honor.
CPO, you're on.
Yes.
State of Ohio versus Jason Lindsay, case number CRB 22522. Jason Lindsay. Did not check in on it.
This is Mr. Thompson's case set for a pretrial today. He did not report, he was supposed to be here last Monday and didn't appear then. But there was a report, I think, from Halfway that said he was doing pretty good, so I think that's why we continued it for a week. He's still not here.
Well, I haven't been able to get a hold of him, Your Honor.
I can,
Can we do one more week, and I'll get a hold of Pathways?
there's a representative from Pathways West. Yeah, Randy West.
And Your Honor, we spoke to the alleged victim in this matter 5 days ago, and she said that, she's wanted to drop the charges, and she's voiced that to us several times, and said that the counseling at this time seems to be going well, so hopefully that still stands today. We don't have a problem with continuing again if we find out that he's still in counseling.
Your Honor, do you have a phone number on Randy West?
I will forward you his contact. I'm going to text him and say,
Okay.
ask him to let Mr. Lindsay know he needs to appear. Just to try to find something with his kind of social. So I'll continue, you're available then on the 24th? Let's continue to that.
Is that the next Monday?
That's next Monday.
Yes.
Okay, defendant's request, case is continued to the 24th.
Thank you.
I just sent you Mr. West's contact information.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
You're welcome, sir.
State of Ohio versus Stephen Stanley, case number CRB 23148, CRD 193337 and TRC 191194, CRB 19329.
Your Honor, if I may, Mr. Stanley was on 327, Big Area Saturday, and he has not been here.
Any?
No. I believe he appeared by teleconference in jail.
Morford?
Your Honor, he explained to me this morning that he didn't understand he had to be here every Saturday for community service. He has moved to Wheelersburg and would ask for permission to do his community service there, and he will immediately begin fulfilling his obligation to this court.
Well, I think at this point, he needs to go to the holding cell. But we'll go to the holding cell, I'll think about it, and we'll have him back out later in the dock.
State of Ohio versus Marissa Short, case number CRA 22623, CRB 22624, and TRC 222494 A and B.
This is Mr. Morford's case. It's preliminary hearings and pre-trial. Well, it's actually on review. Have been preliminary hearings and pre-trial. It's now reviewed. Counsel. She's at Bethesda.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, the report.
Yeah.
Here's the report. Really good. Says you're a model client. So that's good. So what's the next steps? Where are we headed with this?
Today I started my phase 4, so that's the last one. And I'm starting to work on my peer support classes. And I'm planning on doing outpatient after I get done with inpatient.
When do you think that'll be?
Maybe around June.
Okay.
I'm not 100% sure.
Sound right?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, June's not that far off. So it's on the horizon. Well, congratulations. You've done really well, and I wasn't sure you would at one point. So I don't want to diminish what you've done, but let's put it this way. I see a big change in you, so that's meant as a compliment. So you're doing well. I want you to continue to do well, and I think you've developed some self-awareness, introspection, some maturity through this process. So, congratulations.
Thank you.
So, let's continue on, and I don't think I need to see her until maybe at the end of May. What's your plan going to be going forward after you finish up?
I'm going to try to get my CDCA and start doing all that.
Okay, so you're gonna work in this field then?
Yeah.
Good. May 26th?
That's the day I was looking at.
All right.
I'm free, Judge.
May 26th will be your next hearing. Pre-trial review, she's already been sentenced, but this is just to make sure you're doing well, continuing to do well, so I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. State of Ohio versus Alfreda Steele, case number TRD 163101, TRD 132847, TRC 132828, A, B, C, and D. I think she's on.
All right. Alfreda Steele is appearing by teleconference.
Your Honor, are these all review cases?
This is it's actually on the docket as a pretrial, I think, and review. All right, Ms. Steele, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Recording has started.
Well, one of these cases is unresolved. It's the 163101, driving without a license. And then the other one, 132847, is an OVI. That's never, nothing's been ever done on that. So,
Now, Judge Capper, can I say something?
you can.
I was on the phone with the highway department up, here in Ohio, and to see, what all I needed to do about getting the rest of it resolved. With whatever fines needed to be paid, or whatever I needed to do to get, paid for and whatever. They said that I had nothing else to pay, and that what I had paid had went, and should have went to Lawrence County.
Okay. Well, I don't know who told you that, but that may be with the BMV, but that's not with the court. The BMV does not control what the court does. You had an OVI conviction. Ma'am, do not interrupt me. You had an OVI conviction in 2013. You had community service to do and fines and court costs to pay. And from what I can tell, you didn't do any of it.
No, sir, I didn't.
Okay, well, that's still an issue. That has to be taken care of. The BMV wouldn't know about that, so that's not their bailiwick.
I had no more fines.
Well, and you still have a case that you failed to appear on that's never been resolved. You had a driving without a license in 2016 that's still pending because you didn't show up.
Yeah. I'm not sure the month, but I know that was around the time I went to prison.
Okay. Where are you now?
I live in Cambridge. That's where I'm at now.
Okay. Well, we need to get these resolved. Is there some way you can take care of these cases? You haven't paid anything on your OVI and didn't do anything you were ordered to do.
No, I didn't. Back then, I didn't care about nothing. Now I do. So, yeah, I'm going to start paying all my fines and doing what I need to get done. So I can get this taken care of and getting it over with.
Okay, well, that would be wonderful. I'm all for that.
Okay.
And I'll give you some time to do it. As long as you're making progress, I'll work with you, but you got to do something. I mean, we're going on 10 years. 10 years and nothing's happened. So that's being pretty patient.
I know. Yes, sir, and I agree.
All right, I'm going to give you another month. I'm going to give you another month.
Okay.
May the 19th.
I'll have some paid on it by then.
And you can do community service in your home area. Do it for either the court there or a charitable organization. Get me some proof you've got 60 hours of community service you were ordered to do. Okay, May the 19th at 10 o'clock is your next hearing.
State of Ohio recalls Jenica Tuttle, case number CRB 23108. And State of Ohio versus Dylan Hooper, case number CRB 23109.
Oh, yeah, they were drug screened.
Okay, they were both negative on their screens.
Okay.
So that's good.
Thank you, Your Honor.
And we need Ms. Tuttle.
I'm not sure, I thought she was still back with them. We haven't seen her return.
Okay, well, let's just recall it when she comes back out.
Both of them, Your Honor?
Yeah.
State of Ohio versus Jerry Morrison, case number CRB 23233.
And sir, you're Jerry Morrison? Yes. Jerry Morrison?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Cooper's bringing you a copy of the charge. It alleges domestic violence that on April 14, 2023, in Union Township, that you, by threat of force, caused Cheryl Gerald, who's a family member of yours, or household member, to believe you would cause physical harm to her. That's a fourth-degree misdemeanor, maximum penalty, 30 days in jail, $250 fine. Do you understand the charge?
Yes, sir.
Do you understand your rights?
Yes, sir.
How do you plead to this charge?
Not guilty.
Do you want a lawyer appointed?
Yes, sir.
Do you have a job?
No, sir, I'm retired.
Do you have income from that?
Yes, sir.
How much is your income? I have to determine your gross annual income.
About $1,000 a month.
Okay, well, you're eligible for court-appointed counsel then. Who's behind? Can you step aside, sir? Let me see who's behind you. All right, Mr. Morford. I'll point to you, Mr. Morford.
There he is.
Entering a not guilty plea. You can sign a $1,000 signature bond. Now, this is a fourth-degree misdemeanor, so unless there's a time waiver, we need to come back pretty quick.
If he's going to be out, Judge, I don't mind the wait time at all.
Okay. May 19th then? Is that a good date?
I believe so.
Yes. And we're going to request a protection order.
Is it a problem for you to stay away from Cheryl?
Well, she lives in my home.
Well, that's a problem.
She has the back half of the house. I live in the front.
If we have information about how to contact her.
She's currently not there, though.
Do you have a cell number or anything for her?
No, sir.
Well, it's okay if you go to your house if she's not there. The problem would be if she comes around. Do you have contact information, Mr. Hill? She might have a warrant out of this court, does she? Cheryl Gerald.
It's a familiar name.
Oh, here we go. We found a phone number for her. If we had a few minutes to try to call her.
Let's recall. I'm going to let this prosecutor try to get a hold of her and see if she wants a protection order.
Have a seat. He's going to call the case.
Thank you, Judge.
State of Ohio versus Darren K. Jackson, case number CRB 10-410. TRC 10-931.
Judge, I'm going to ask if you forgive me. I had a death in the family in West Virginia this morning, so I've been up for the last 48 hours. I'm exhausted.
Sorry about that. Looks like you had a hearing on last Friday. Is that correct? You weren't here?
Oh, that's right. I should have had some doctor's notes that was brought over. You can just drop it off. That's something else. Now, what I have him bringing you is, I spoke to a couple of ladies, one in Ironton and one in this office. I don't know what it entails. I don't know if it has anything to do with the merit of this case, but I still just don't have the money to pay for these classes. But what I was told by them as one of these cases, which was the OVI, was completely dismissed, which gives me the reason that I didn't have to take this, the OVI class. Now, with
Well, the OVI was dismissed, but your no driver's license sentence, I'm looking, it's the very first paper on top.
I have a valid license.
May 3rd, 2010, it says, is to complete DIP school, which is driver intervention program, so that's where you're required to go to.
It has to be in Ohio, because I have a driver's license now. I took 2 of them in West Virginia. I have a valid driver's license.
The driver intervention program is a particular, now you can go to any one in the state of Ohio, but you have to go to one of those.
I can't afford it, that's it. I can't afford it, Judge. I have $16 in my account. Last time I was here 6 weeks ago, I had 22. I'm living off of $20 a week groceries between me and a 13-year-old boy. You know, I make just enough money not to get food stamps. It's just, I'm in a position to where I can't win for losing. You know, the last time I saw you, you said I'd probably have to do 3 days in jail. I don't want to, but it's probably going to have to be my only option, you know.
Well, I really don't want to put you in jail.
I don't need
Let's do this. I'll let you do 5 days of community service instead.
I can do that, I can do 3 days this week and 2 next week.
Okay.
With the,
I'll withdraw any warrant that have been issued. I'll give you another review hearing May the 19th. If you've done 3 days of community service by then, you don't have to even come back.
with Little League Baseball starting up, can I help with that?
No. You have to work through us.
Okay.
You can talk to this gentleman right here. He set you up someplace to work.
Mr. Major.
Or Mr. Major.
I'll talk to you.
Probation officer.
Judge, I appreciate you being, you know, just lenient with me. You've went above and beyond everything that you've had to do, and I greatly appreciate it, you know. It's hard being a single dad with a fixed income.
Well, it's old now at this point. I don't know that you, it'd be just as good for the community if you do the 5 days community service as going to the driver intervention program. So let's get that done. There's
Thank you.
a lot of grass and trash. So grass to be cut and trash to be picked up, so we can do that.
That's right.
Go talk to Mr. Major.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
State of Ohio recalls Dylan Hooper and Jenica Tuttle.
Okay, so we've got the results on their screen, which is clean, that's good. Anything you have a right to make a statement if you want, any statements?
If I may, Your Honor. Young kids, they acknowledge that what they did was stupid, and they certainly learned from that. They are gainfully employed. There aren't concerns about substance abuse, and this is a first offense. We would ask that you be lenient in your sentencing.
Okay. Well, I'm going to give you the standard that I do on people that don't have a substance use problem. The reason I do the urine screens is, you know, we have a Walmart here in my jurisdiction, and in my experience is 80 to 85% of the people that I have for shoplifting test dirty on urine screens. So it becomes a treatment case. I make them go to treatment. But good for you. At least today, you don't have substance use, so I'm not going to order any kind of treatment for you. I'll impose a $100 fine for each. 10 days in jail, which I will suspend on the conditions you do 5 days of community service, and your order to stay out of Walmart. 2 years of probation, and that will conclude whenever you finish what you're ordered to do. And you'll have a review hearing on November 27th. So you've got all summer and most of the fall to get all this done. If you do it before then, you don't have to come back. If you haven't got it done by November 27th, you got to show up, explain why you couldn't get it done. If you don't show up, you get a warrant. I mean, you probably saw people in here. People get arrested for not doing what they're supposed to and not showing up, and they wind up going to jail. Just take care of it, and you'll never see the inside of the jail.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Any questions? They need to go check in with Mr. Major, probation, and
Will do.
they'll be completed.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, we're ready to start preliminary hearings.
State of Ohio versus Brendan LeGrand. He did not check in. Case number CRA 22566.
And this is Roger Smith's case. There he is. Brendan LeGrand. He hasn't checked into it.
He had an issue last time when he was faced, I think we gave him his last chance last time, and I've not spoken to him since. And he was aware of the court date.
I think so too.
He had some hiccups and he was supposed to get with the plan for the program.
He's had some bad screens.
Yes.
This is a felony, so it's up to the houses, and it's a West Virginia address. Do you want a warrant from here or send it on to the grand jury?
This will knowledge to the grand jury.
Case will be knowledge to the grand jury.
Thank you.
Here.
State of Ohio versus Alyssa R. Shallards, case number CRA 2158, CRB 2460. Did not check in.
Mr. Thompson's case for preliminary hearing. She has been at ODP.
She is still at ODP. She had car problems today, so she sent, it's very hard to read, so at the bottom is where it says she's coming in.
So I assume you're asking for a continuance then?
Yes, sir.
No objection from the state?
No, Your Honor, as long as there's a time waiver.
May 15th?
That Monday.
That's Monday.
Thank you.
May 15th. We'll have a hearing for Alyssa Sowers. May 15th.
State of Ohio versus Douglas Bloomer, case number CRA 22587.
Yes, I can. All right, and this is Mr. Warford's case. Okay, where are you calling in from, Mr. Bloomer?
I'm at integrated services.
Okay, is that a place where you're getting outpatient services?
Yes, sir, and I have complete UP. I have the certificate.
Where is integrated services located?
It's located in Jackson, Galveston.
Galveston, okay.
Yes, yes, sir.
And it sounds like there's somebody there with you that's from the facility?
Yes, sir. She has to be the director. She does the whole operation. I've been working extremely hard. I've got a mowing business that I started by myself.
Okay, what are you doing? What kind of business?
I'm going to eventually it's going to pay off. I've got 2 mowers I purchased. I can only do work myself. You can't trust anyone else.
Yeah.
I steal from people. No get
Okay, well, nothing wrong with doing the work yourself. All right, I'm going to ask the lady that's there with you if she could identify herself for the record so we can make a good record.
Hi, my name is Emily Foltz.
And Emily, what's your
I'm the
position?
supervisor.
You're a supervisor?
I'm the supervisor.
And it's the name of the facility's Integrated Services?
Yeah, integrated services for behavioral health.
All right, thank you. Any questions from council?
Just whether he's in compliance and making progress, I guess, would be our interest.
So Jeff comes here to receive just basic case management. And so he has a worker named Gary Howell, who he calls just to help him get connected with community resources. He is currently looking for housing. He doesn't have housing at this time.
Oh, okay.
So he was at OVP Residential.
Correct.
And he finished his 30-day treatment plan there, and then he went to outpatient. I guess that's where he's gone to outpatient, is at Integrated Services.
That's my understanding.
So that sounds like good progress, and I also think taking the initiative to start your own business, there's plenty of grass to be cut, and nothing wrong with some sunshine and fresh air every day, too. So
Where are you living, Mr. Bloomer?
Currently, I'm staying, a friend of mine who lives in Gallagher is living in borrow his building, you see. So, and I got people in Cheshire that I work for that allow me to take showers. And I go to church across the Christian Union. I was there sunrise service Sunday, Easter Sunday, and everyone was glad to see me. I'm planning on attending NA meetings. She just gave me the location. I got to get the exact time on that, and I'll give you documentation to prove it.
Okay, well, I think it sounds like the state's agreeable with what you're doing. Do you want to continue to monitor this thing?
probably would not be a bad thing to do.
All right, so if you can appear, if they'll allow you to use the teleconferencing equipment, the next session, I'll allow you to do that, or come to court, either one. I know it's a little, probably 40-mile drive for you to get down here. Let's set this in about a month. May 22nd.
Okay.
Mr. Morford, is that a good day?
Okay, thank you.
Yes, Your Honor.
May 22nd. Mr. Bloomer is your
Yes, sir.
next hearing, and that'll be at 10 a.m. And you can appear by teleconference. Good luck to you, sir. I think you're on the right path.
Yes. Thank you, sir. Appreciate you.
Okay, you're welcome.
Okay.
State of Ohio versus Amanda J. Dowdy, case number CRA 21191.
This is Mr. Morford's case.
I'm doing great. I'm still sick of living. But that's
Yeah, report. Okay. Okay. Ms. Dowdy has been at this for a while. It's a good report.
Your Honor, I was asked by Taylor Jones Dillon this morning if the court would consider, Mr. Hill would consider calling this case done.
All right. Now, the charges in the underlying matter were a little more serious than what we typically allow to remain in this court, so.
Yes, and that was as a result, not because we take the charges lightly, but because we looked at the entire picture of some of the evidence that maybe have been available, as well as this young lady and how we felt that she was capable of doing better. And so we did agree to leave it here. This case goes back, golly, is it 2 years? So she's been through a lot, and she's had some ups and downs throughout the period, but she has reached a place now where if the counseling agency feels that she's done everything that they can do for her and she's reached the maximum potential as far as the treatment goes, that it's probably time to go ahead and dismiss the charges. And hopefully this is something that's going to be a lifetime change for her.
Yes.
Ms. Dowd, anything you wish to say?
I just want to say that this has been a lifetime, it's just a change for me, and I don't know what to say other than thank you.
Well, you're welcome and congratulations. Now, it's my understanding you're going to continue. What I'm going to do, I'm going to terminate your case. I'm not going to be, you're not going to have to come back here, and I'm not going to be looking over your shoulders at what you're doing. But I think you've adopted this for your own and understand whatever efforts you need to make to stay in recovery, that's what you need to do. It was my understanding from the report you're going to continue to do some outpatient work.
Yes.
And help other people too. I think
Yes.
that's always good once you're involved with helping other folks that are coming behind you. I think it helps them and it helps you too.
Yes.
So congratulations, your case is going to be dismissed at this time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good luck to you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank
You're
you.
welcome.
State of Ohio versus Melissa Snell, case number CRA 23224.
This is Mr. Morford's case. Come in here. She's at Riverside.
Your Honor, she's scheduled for assessment Thursday.
When did she make that, you have any idea when she made that appointment?
It was last week.
Last Thursday afternoon.
Well, it took a little while.
Yeah, I was trying to get a hold of him. The lady was out that does the assessments until today.
And she's appearing this Thursday?
Yes, sir.
20th.
Yes, sir.
All right, Mr. Morford, what's your, I think you had some trials at the end of April, is that right? Or some-
Judge, I think the 28th went out.
Okay, good, that was the date I was thinking of. Let's come back on April 28th, and I'll get a report by then.
Thank you, Your Honor.
So that's a week from this Friday. You're welcome.
Make sure you show up next time.
State of Ohio versus Brian W. Webb, case number CRA 2832, TRD 2761, TRD 2015-55, TRD 2135-14, A and B.
Okay.
Mr. Morford's case. And I think we need to have Mr. Webb do a screen today. Let's have him go do that before we proceed further.
State of Ohio recalls Jacqueline Dillon, case number TRD 192682, TRC 2192, A, B, and C.
Mr. Smith's case.
Your Honor, yes, a little bit ago you issued a warrant. I did call her place of employment's All About Animals veterinary in Flatwoods. I did speak with Ms. Dillon. She is working today. I told her that she had a court hearing this morning here in municipal court, and she said she just forgot about it, went to work. She knows she has one Wednesday. I don't know if you want to call the warrant, have her come Friday, or if you want her to try to appear by Blue Jeans, or how do you want to do it? She said she's scheduled to work the rest of the day. I don't know how you want to handle it, how the court wants to handle that.
Mr. Healy.
Well, he made contact with her, so that's a positive. And she has court on Wednesday, common police court, so she does have that hanging over her head as well. We don't oppose a short continuance.
And based on her report that was handed in a little bit ago, it looks like she's had a good report, so I don't.
Okay, let's continue it for at least a couple weeks.
Okay.
It's a review, so we don't have to.
Oh, I see, okay, that's fine.
May 1st?
May 1st is fine, Your Honor.
No, she didn't appear, so there's a time wait.
So I'll cancel the warrant
It's a post-conviction thing.
and set it for May 1st for a pretrial on review.
All right, thank you, Your Honor.
No mention.
State of Ohio versus Tracy DeMint, case number TRC 22548, A, B, and C, TRC 202272, A, B, and C, and TRC 213522, A, B, and C. Tracy DeMint.
Judge, he called the office and said he had an appointment that ran late. He is on his way.
Okay, we'll recall.
Thank you.
State of Ohio versus Stephen Thompson, case number CRA 22617, TRC 222476, A, B, and C.
Mr. Morford's case. Okay, it's a really good report. Good job. What's the state's position? Are you ready to sentence on this or keep it pending? He's got a OVI that he pled to in February, but there's still looks like a felony pending also.
The OVI was a first offense. If we want him to continue to make progress and hold open the felony case, but if the court wanted to go ahead and sentence him on the OVI, we don't have an opposition to, he's made enough progress in treatment maybe to have that stand in place of a 3-day driving school.
Okay. And just keep the felony pending?
Yes, Your Honor.
What's the defendant's position on that?
We're agreeable with Mr. Hill's offer, Your Honor.
Okay. That's case number 22-2476. He has some priors, but they're outside the look back here time frame. Now, one thing I see, this was a single car wreck, that wasn't.
Yes, Your Honor.
Didn't involve anybody else's vehicle?
No, Your Honor.
One thing we would ask for, Your Honor, is a little bit larger suspended jail sentence to give him further motivation to keep doing what he's doing, which is all good at this point.
Now, was this vehicle yours or did it belong to somebody else?
No, it was mine.
Okay, because at least on the ticket, it was reported there was no insurance coverage. Is that right? Or?
No, I don't think there was an insurance, Judge.
Well, the problem one problem is you're going to get the BMV will impose a license suspension on that. And then if there was someone else involved, I would need to consider restitution to them, like if the vehicle belonged to someone else. I'm looking at the report now. And it does have you listed as the owner, so it's your loss. I mean, you're the only one damaged. It's not like somebody else's vehicle was damaged. Okay, so, and you're sure there was no coverage?
Yeah, I'm sure.
Okay. All right.
Honor, if I may, I've worked with Mr. Thompson since he came into treatment, and the progress he's made is just mind-boggling.
Okay.
He came in angry at the world and didn't want to participate, and to see what he's done now is just tremendous.
All right, good job. Glad you're on board and doing well. You got a really good report. But, you know, you did the OVI, so you're going to get, you got to get sentenced for the OVI. But it's a first offense, and I'm not going to give you any jail time. I'm going to suspend jail time. And my plan is that you don't go to jail. I don't want to see you go to jail. But if you mess up, then you could go to jail.
Right.
Okay. All right. It looks like there was no test. Let me read the report. Okay, this is the officer's report. September 23rd, approximately 14:25 hours, so that's 2:25 a.m. Dispatched to a single vehicle crash. That'd be 12:25. I was dispatched to a single vehicle crash. Gives an address in Chesapeake. When I arrived on the scene, fire department was there using tools to remove the driver from the vehicle. Firefighter stated there was a needle that was inside the vehicle. EMT stated the passerby had stopped, stated the driver was slumped over the wheel. It's identified as Stephen Thompson of Chesapeake. I first saw him, he was sitting inside the vehicle, his eyelids were droopy. He was flaccid. He began speaking, his speech was slow and raspy. Pupils were constricted. He was loaded on a stretcher and taken to an ambulance, located a needle on the dash, which had been recently used. Mr. Thompson did have a strong pulse, but his breathing was slow. Paramedic administered 2 milligrams of Narcan through an IV, and Mr. Thompson's condition improved. Mr. Thompson began to come to a more conscious state. Medic asked him if he had used heroin or any opiates, and he stated that he had. He was given Miranda warnings, was advised he was under arrest for OVI. He was transported to Cabell Huntington Medical Center. After I completed the investigate the crash scene, I drove to the hospital, interviewed Mr. Thompson, and was informed by the staff he had ripped out his IV and fled the scene. Charges were filed thereafter. Okay, anything you want to say, Mr. Thompson?
He denies ripping the IV out, Judge.
Okay, maybe he just took it out. Right. All right, on the OVI, I'll impose a $400 fine. It's near the minimum fine allowed because of your work you've done on recovery. I'll order you to pay the court costs. You get a 6-month license suspension. I'll let it start at the time, because I should make it start now by the rules that we go under, but I'm going to start it the day of the offense, so you'll be able to get your license back. Yeah,
Thank you,
your
Your Honor.
suspension was up in March about that. So now, it doesn't automatically get reinstated. You'll have to call the B&B, and they'll have a reinstatement fee and other hoops you got to jump through. But you're eligible to get your license back now. I'm going to make it 60 days in jail suspended. So you got 60 days over your head. I'll order you to do 5 days of community service. I'm going to suspend you going to the driver intervention program. Since you did the treatment with Riverside, I'm supposed to make you go to a 3-day school. I'm not going to do that. I don't think the state will object to that because you've done more than what the 3-day school is. Then I'm going to set him out about 2 months. Because you still got the felony pending. So I still want you to continue with treatment like you are. But the whole idea is that eventually that felony will get dismissed. If you continue to do well, complete treatment, the state will dismiss that. Is that correct, Mr.
That is correct, Your Honor.
So then you'll have the 6 OBI left, and it's not, if you do what you're supposed to on that, you'll never go to jail. Yeah. On the failure to control, $20 fine, seat belts, a $30 fine. And then let's set his first review hearing for June. What's better, Mondays or Fridays?
Mondays.
June the 12th.
Is that one of his other cases?
Yeah. Both will be set for June 12th. And you got an old case that's set then too.
It's set at 10 o'clock, Your Honor.
10 o'clock. He's got a littering, he's got a fine on it, he's never paid. That needs to be taken care of too. All right, June 12th is your next hearing.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Judge.
Go to the probation office.
Thank you, Your Honor.
See Mr. Major.
State of Ohio versus Scott Taylor, case number TRC 222629.
Hey, Butch. You give that to Butch.
This is Mr. Smith, Roger Smith's case.
Doing all right?
Yes, sir.
That's a good report.
I think the last sentence or next last sentence answered my question, Judge. Mr. Taylor asked me in the hallway, and his mother has sent me a letter, wondering if you could be considered for outpatient treatment because she relies on him for transportation, meals, et cetera. I said all I can do is ask the prosecutor, which I did just when we talked about it, and ask the court.
Well, that's not what's being recommended for him.
That's why I said the next to last sentence, I just read that.
Our input is that we want him to follow the treatment that's being recommended, and it's easy for me anyway to look at Mr. Taylor and see a big change in him already. And I just, prior to this, when he first started, it just felt like he was a man that was just beaten down. And I think he's got a better outlook on life. And I can understand him being worried about his mom, and but hopefully there are ways to make sure she's taken care of without him having to risk going back against what he has advanced in his treatment already. So hopefully the agency maybe could help him solve some of those problems.
Yes, Judge, personally, I think he's where he needs to be, but I told him I would address that with the court because she has some health concerns. She's an elderly, doctor's appointment, things like that, but perhaps they can help assist you somehow. She said they want to work with you.
Can I just say something?
Yes, sir.
You've been the most fair judge with me, and I'm sorry to let you down. Like the prosecutor said, it was, if you watch the DVDs, you know how sad it was. You know, I'm just wore out from running. My sister's in a walker up there in Rome on Beulah Lane. Her husband, a significant other, blew his head off last April up there on Beulah Lane by Ellis. And she's calling me to get her groceries. And my job since I came up here from North Carolina in 2015 was to take care of Mom. She got cancer 5 years ago. And she doesn't understand this. She lives right there on May Street. You know, you got my word. I'm done with all this. I will never, I knew better on the drinking and driving. I mean, as far as that goes. And I was at the food fair. I got 3 Bud Lights and slammed them because I just needed to rest, and I can't sleep without them. I thought, I maybe slept till like 2 o'clock and then I woke right back up. It just makes things worse. So I'm almost 60 and, I'm not out to try to morally corrupt anybody by selling drugs or anything like that. I mean, this is just an issue where I'm done with it. I'm done with anything. I'll never, let you down again.
Well, I understand your concern for your mother. Maybe we could get some assistance for her. I know they're not going to put somebody in there full time, but maybe there's something that could be done to have some assistance for her.
St. Mary's Home Health comes on Mondays. A Missy from right there in Proctorville, St. Mary, is there now, and she's like 14 different pills, and she's got this stomach hernia, incisional hernia from the cancer surgery, and I've been with her at HIMG for the last 7 years, and all the specialists, the surgeons, and she's probably going to pass on me. And that's my biggest fear. And I've kind of like been her, when the doctor says, well, I can give her something for a kidney infection, or I can do a CAT scan. I said, please do the CAT scan. And he rushes out, can you get her to St. Mary's? We have a trauma surgery team waiting. And of course, that's my job. And I got her there, and she was there all winter. She had appendicitis first when she was 82. They found cancer on her colon as a result. And she's just, that hernia came in her stomach. It's huge, and they can't do the operation because she's got dementia, from all of it. She was on Xanax for 33.5 years. I got her off, tapered her off of that with a Valium taper so she wouldn't go into seizures, and luckily she survived that. She's a sweet lady, and I owe her my life 1,000,000 times over. So, but you've got my word. I mean, you've been, gave me chance after chance, and I'm sorry it wasn't about that, and it'll never happen again. I'm just done with it, and I got to focus on staying alive.
All right, May 22nd will be the next one.
State of Ohio versus James Butts, case number CRB 21-9.
This is Mr. Stratton's case.
Your Honor, I have not heard from Mr. Butts. He was at Brighter Days. I don't know if we have a rep from Brighter Days here or not.
Is there anyone here from Brighter Days?
No, but I do have info.
Okay.
He left like the same day that he was supposed to go.
Yeah.
Because I actually had a bag of goodies for him, and
You didn't even stay for the
when
goodie bags?
No, he didn't even stay for one day.
He signed in, and then they were moving you somewhere and jumped out in the red light.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
All right, issue a warrant. That's all we can do.
All right, Your Honor.
Bench warrant for failure to
State of Ohio versus Brian Combs, case number CRA 21-592 A and B, TRC 21-2129 A, B, and C.
Okay. That's good.
Okay, so it looks like what we have here is a verification of insurance for the vehicle that was involved in this case under case number 21-2129.
We do have the insurance.
We did. It'll be placed in the file. So today we were going to do sentencing on that. So that's very good that you dug up that information.
Yeah, my wife, I can thank her for that.
Okay.
Will it be a first offense?
Well, it's actually, I think it's actually second offense.
They planned that this person's
Yeah. Our understanding was that it'd be treated as a first offense if he went through treatment, and he's been through many treatment facilities, and
we had agreed that, to hold off with sentencing because of that very fact, that we wanted to use it as a motivation for him to do well in treatment, and that at some point we would be able to recommend something less than a second offense treatment if he did well. And by golly, he's been at it for a long time. And
A substitution of 3
I think
days
he was
school.
already sentenced on the OVI on March the 13th. Is that possible?
This,
No, I don't-
Yes.
I don't think so.
No,
Okay, thought he was.
there's also the 3-day school that
Yeah.
would be substituted.
We don't have an opposition at this point. If the court sentenced him, we would recommend an enlarged suspended jail sentence and all the other things that go along with that. And we wouldn't recommend the driving school in lieu of the fact that he's been in treatment for so long. And it is encouraging. He's been, I don't know how many times he's been here, but it's been a whole lot, and he keeps fighting forward.
I've got 6 months clean now, the 14th. so-
Yeah, so that's got to feel good. And, this is just an opportunity for a lifetime change for this man, and we're encouraged that he's making that effort.
Anything else you want to say, Mr. Collins, or your lawyer?
Yes, sir.
So we're going to consider it the first offense.
Yeah, well, I'm going to give him first offense penalties, so
So should I put one in?
you can put one.
Okay, thank you.
The one thing you need to realize, if you have another one and go to another, well, even if you come back here, you could jump from a first to a third.
Okay.
You understand that?
Yes, sir.
Which could have very enhanced penalties.
And I would like to say something in addition to, Your Honor, that if that happened, we would be extremely disappointed, and we'd be looking at something like that and want a higher punishment that would normally be on a third offense. So, and that's just further maybe to encourage Mr. Combs and not to threaten him.
Okay. I'll impose a $500 fine, order that you pay court costs. I'll make it a 6-month license suspension, which will be over. So your suspension will be over. You will have to reinstate with the B&B though. I'm going to sentence you to 80 days in jail, and I'm going to suspend all of it. But you've got that over your head, so if you have another offense, I can impose that. I will require you to do 5 days of community service. I won't require you to do the driver intervention program since you've done the treatment.
Where did he do treatment with?
He was at OVP last, I believe. His last treatment was at OVP. And you're...
I'm still there,
right?
outpatient, yes.
So I want you to do whatever you need to do to stay in recovery, that's what you need to do. If
Yes,
that's
sir.
continued with OVP, I want you to do that.
No, I liked it at the 20th Street one.
Good. I'll set a review hearing for him. I want to see you a little sooner than what we normally would. Let's make it July the 14th. On the, now he had a B case and a C case too.
Well, yeah. And one of he still has a felony pending,
Yes.
so.
Okay. We'll
I guess
set
that'd
it
be
for preliminary hearing also.
Now, how do things get there?
Okay, I'll make it July 14th, and we'll look at possibly dismissing the felony then too, that you need to continue with. So I want to get further updates from OVP, because you are going there, and I want you to continue that. So it'll be a preliminary hearing and review hearings on July 14th. On the failure to reinstate, I'll impose a $50 fine, and I'll dismiss the C case, which was improper backing.
Your Honor, can we do a Monday instead of that Friday? I'm sorry.
Yeah. July the 10th.
Thank you.
Yeah, you need to go check with Mr. Major on your ODI probation.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you.
State of Ohio versus Jamie A. Baker, case number CRB 23155. Jamie Baker.
All right, and Mr. Baker, this is set for a sentencing. You're at Shawnee, right?
Yes.
And you were going to bring me a report from them?
I forgot to ask for this, but you can fax, I believe, if that's, but I do have my original ticket from when I was here the first time.
Okay, is Rachel Ellis here?
Yes.
Okay, so you want to come up and talk to the prosecutor now?
Well, Your Honor, I've been speaking with Rachel Ellis, and she's kind of filling me in on the situation, and she says that Jamie is going to Shawnee, and she couldn't go with him one day
It's most recent.
because she had something else to do with her.
My brother, I'm guardian of him, and he's having a Crohn's flare-up, and it's...
So he didn't ask to get a report, and that's the reason he doesn't have a report. But she feels like, I guess this is what I understood you to say was that this is kind of a lifetime
Yes,
thing.
and it was his choice, and he voluntarily decided to make a change. And
So this just happened
yeah, it was
a month
literally-
ago,
Yeah,
and we're encouraged by the report. I hope that Jamie understands that he needs to do what he needs to do to keep from having problems in the household. I guess he pled guilty previously,
Yeah.
so this is more of a sentencing thing. We'd like to see some more reports from Shawnee indicating that he is attending to his treatment needs. She says she doesn't know what to ask for.
and like, he forgets and doesn't know what to ask for either, and gets a little distracted with the doctors. He likes to chit-chat, and
Do you go with him usually?
I usually do, but not this time, where I've been having to, like, I basically drop him off to the doctor, and then I have to go to King's Daughters to my brother's appointment, and by the time I get back, he's ready to wait on me.
Well, do you think it's...
I don't have a car.
Is it worthwhile for the court to continue to supervise this, or
I
do you
mean,
think things
it's
are...
entirely your choice. I think he's doing well. He's definitely making a lot of effort and trying. And we actually brought his mom today too for extra moral support because I honestly didn't, it was my request initially to drop it because I initially wanted him to go to the hospital and seek care. And because of circumstances, I assumed that it wasn't the case, but he didn't even make it to the jail to be booked. It was en route that he requested, and then he was then picked up by the squad and taken to King's Doctor. So I think he's making effort and he's communicating more and he's being consistent. He's doing wonderful.
Okay. Well, why don't we come back in a couple of months and things are still going that well, it sounds like you want the case dismissed now. Is that correct?
I mean, yeah. We've got a lot of stress and it's really hard on him.
Okay.
Adds more stress.
All right, well, why don't we come back, I'll just delay sentencing until June the 16th. And it would be good to have a report then from Shawnee showing what he's been doing. But the main thing, ma'am, is you were the complaining party. If you're satisfied, we'll be satisfied.
I never, I just wanted him
To get treated.
take care of himself and
Right.
like, I understand the diagnosis and it's not him. Like, it's not domestic violence. It's preventing him from hurting himself more than anything.
Okay.
But he's done very well with communicating with his mom, and she's literally my saving grace. We're right there next door, and he feels terrible about it, literally. I mean.
Okay, well, is that agreeable? Do you think that was a workable plan, that we come back in a couple of months and that...
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. All right, so Mr. Baker, continue to do what you've been doing with your sessions at Shawnee, and we'll see you June the 16th, and all goes well.
Yeah.
You'll be dismissed, and you won't have to come back here anymore.
Thank you.
Right down this 1500.
Can you give me this?
Yes.
State of Ohio versus David Ketchner, case number TRC 221615 A and B.
All right, this is on the docket for sentencing today. Mr. Kettner.
Judge, I had it on just for a status reason, not for actual sentencing, I didn't know. You wanted an update on treatment, Judge. I've got some documentation I approached to provide the court. And there's some additional stuff there, Judge, I've got to update the court as well.
Well, have you seen it, Mr. Reed?
I have, actually, I may have given you all my copies, Judge, and not everything. Judge, just for the record, I think I gave you, yeah, I did give you all my copies. There's some other stuff there.
I just kept one and gave them all back.
Okay, gotcha. So he is, in addition to what I gave you there with Dr. Sarang, Mr. Keckner's also does weekly psychotherapy treatment. He has been in that since March 28th of this year with Dr. Joan Browner. She's a licensed clinical psychologist. I can get that information for you too. Just going to take some time to get the authorizations out there. As I told you, or as I provided there to you with Dr. Monica Sarang, that's who is prescribing him the medications here. He's also on the Sober Link, which I've got here, if I can provide that to you here, where he's been randomly tested, been sober for over 6 weeks, plus the weekly AA meetings. He's still in the midst of these treatments, so.
Are you going to get me copies of this?
These are yours.
Oh.
So what we had talked about with the state judge was allowing this treatment to continue out into the future here, and then scheduling it out again for maybe another status, and then see where we are as long as Mr. Keck is continuing to work toward his treatment here, which is obviously multifaceted, as you can see.
Well, what I would like to do, I'll give him another month, but I want more detailed information.
Okay, yeah.
And I want him to at least appear by telephone.
Yeah, he's on here on Zoom.
Oh, he is?
Or on Blue Jeans.
I don't see him.
Is that him right there? Well, we were scheduled at noon, so maybe he's not logged on.
Okay, well, let's recall, we got.
Okay, that's fine.
We've got things we can do from the jail.
State of Ohio recalls Angela Kelly, case number CRB 22787.
All right, this is Mr. Creming's case. It was set for pretrial, it's been recalled.
Your Honor, I believe we've got a resolution of the case. The state has reached out to the victim, I've reached out to the victim in the matter to discuss possibility of a dismissal, but I haven't been able to get a hold of her. My client has since moved from the apartment, will have a new address for the court, and has started a new job where she's on a 90-day probationary period. So I think based upon that, I believe the state's going to move to amend this to an M4 disorderly, and we'd enter a guilty plea to the M4 disorderly.
And, Your Honor, we'd had discussions with the victim in prior days concerning that potential, and it was a major part of this that Ms. Kelly would have moved. They're next door neighbors, they were next door neighbors, and there was a little bit of disturbance that happened, and perhaps it happened on more than one occasion, but it was enough for the charge to get filed, so we took it very seriously. If we knew for sure that Ms. Kelly has moved by giving us the new address, then that would help us to be able to make that motion to amend to an M4 disorderly conduct.
If you want to go ahead and state your new address.
I brought the lease in. It's 62A Township Road, 1436, South Point, Ohio, 45680.
Okay, so disorderly conduct is 291711. To make it a 4th degree misdemeanor would be the B, 291711, B, voluntarily intoxicated, B1, looks like.
So I need to put B1 in?
Yes. Capital B, numeral 1.
Does she plead guilty?
We would enter a guilty plea to the amended charge.
Ms. Kelly, anything you wish to say?
No, Your Honor.
Was there a recommended sentence, Mr.?
10 days suspended, Your Honor. We don't take any other positions.
All right, I'll impose a 10-day jail sentence suspended, where you pay a $100 fine, court costs. And 2 years of level 5 probation, non-reporting probation, except that there will be a review hearing, but if you pay the fine and court costs, you don't have to appear. So that's November 27th is when you're reviewing. Pay it before then, you don't have to show up for that hearing.
Thank you, Your
If
Honor.
the probation terminated, you can do that after it's paid.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
State of Ohio versus Larry McKnight at the Lawrence County Jail. Case number CRB 23234, TRC 05384.
All right, sir, are you Larry McKnight?
Yes, sir.
All right, Mr. McKnight, I'm Judge Capper. You've got a new charge and an old charge. Your charges were faxed to the jail this morning at 10 o'clock, so they should be there. You should have them.
I don't know, sir.
Okay, well.
But I know I have a fine.
Okay. Well, you've got a new charge of aggravated menacing. So it should be there in the sheriff's office somewhere. I'm going to go ahead and read it to you. The charge alleges that on April the 16th, 2023, in Perry Township, you knowingly caused Paul Brackett to believe you would cause serious physical harm to his person or property. That's an aggravated menacing charge. It's a first-degree misdemeanor. Maximum penalty is 6 months in jail, $1,000 fine. You understand the charge, sir?
Yeah.
You have a right to remain silent. If you choose to make statements, they can be used against you. You have a right to have an attorney, to have one appointed if you can't afford one. You have a right to bail and to make the state prove any charge against you beyond a reasonable doubt. Do you understand those rights?
Yes, I'd like to have a lawyer.
Do you have the money to hire one?
No.
Do you have a job?
No, I'm on Social Security disability.
That's your only income?
Yes.
Is Tyler Smith still here or did he leave?
I saw him leave the judge.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Morford, I'll appoint you then. Mr. Morford's going to be your lawyer. Mr. McKnight. You also have a case from 2005, an OVI, where you still owe fines and court costs, $1,898. That's case number 05384.
Yeah, I need to start paying on that. If you would set me a certain price, I'll start paying everything.
All right, Mr. Morford will represent you on that also. What's the state's position on bond for Mr. McKnight? Mr. McKnight, I've got an address for you of 2954 State Route 243.
That is my mother's home. I am the overseer of it. That's why I reside, because my mom is a nurse.
So that is where you're living?
Yes, sir.
What's the state's position on bond?
Well, the alleged victim in this is Paul Brackett. And in reading the affidavit, it sounded like they all lived together in the same place. That might not be right, but we're going to ask for a protection order. And also, Paul Brackett, I believe, was arraigned on a charge. There's another person that was the alleged victim in that, but I think it all came from the same incident.
There was a Paul Brackett here today for something.
Different incident date or time, but the same people involved. Anyway, so I don't know whether he has a place to go where Paul Brackett's not going to be around or not.
I would like to have my eviction notice served to him to get out of my house.
So he is living in your house?
Yes.
Okay.
I do want to decide that I do want an eviction notice and have him removed from my house.
Okay, well, you can talk to a lawyer about that.
Okay. Thank you, Harvey.
So until then, I don't know what.
I pay all the bills there, I take care of the place, and everything.
his wife. Did we issue a protection order on Brackett? Should have been.
No, she wasn't
So he should have been ordered to stay away from Mary McKnight, which is his wife, is living in prison, so that's.
So I don't know what,
the problem.
Does she want one?
Did Paul Brackett even show up?
Yes.
Yeah, because he's coming back on May the 8th at 10.
Okay, who's his lawyer?
Thompson.
he's gone, I believe.
His file's already out.
Well, I'll send him and that's not a good situation to have Brackett going back to his house where his wife lives as the victim. Was there nothing we did do about it?
I'm gonna go ahead and get the file.
Okay.
Is it also
I don't have
I'm going to text Lance Thompson that Brackett needs to stay away from Mary.
I'll put that in here. Because I think he said one lived in the back of the house and one lived in the front of the house.
Oh, you did.
Well, I'll order Mr. McKnight to stay away from Brackett, Brackett to stay away from Mary McKnight. And then, sounds like the sheriff is probably going to have to go out and intervene at some point.
No, he's not there. I'll just take it out.
Well, he doesn't even have, they didn't even file anything on him out of this. This is an old case. Paul Brackett's case is old. It didn't even involve, they didn't even file anything involving Mary McKnight.
It's, that case is not an assault.
Yeah, 22,
But it's from-
128.
It's a year old.
Well, but is the victim on that one
I have
Mary
Mary
McKnight?
McKnight written down because it was
Yeah, it is.
today.
So I didn't realize how old it was, but,
Yeah, it's a year old.
and there's no protection order in that. So I don't know what transpired way back then.
I've texted Thompson that he needs to stay away from her.
It was just a ring today.
Yeah. I'll go ahead and do an order for him to stay away, protection order for Brackett to stay away from Mary
You
McKnight.
want me to do a docket entry?
Yes.
I'd like to, Your Honor, I'd like for him to, you to issue one to stay away from me too.
Well, you're not the victim with him, so I'm ordering him to stay away from your wife, because she was the victim. We need a cell phone number. We need a cell phone number from you, Mr. McKnight, for your lawyer. Do you have or any kind of phone number? Do you have a phone number?
Do I have a phone number?
Yes, sir.
740-981, 7885.
7885, sir?
Yeah, that's my cell phone, and my wife is 740-307-1483.
1483, thank you. Thank you, Judge.
What is it?
Okay, so we'll need to come back on May the 8th. That's when the other case was set. For a pretrial. And I guess the whole issue is should he get out a signature bond because he's got this old case that he didn't come to court on that's been outstanding all this time. Brackett at least has a bond up. What's the state's position on it?
What is the old case, Your Honor?
OBI.
Still pending?
No, he pled, he did these community service, he didn't ever pay his fines and court costs off.
Well, so probably a cash or surety bond of some amount would be appropriate.
All right, Mr. McKnight, can you post a bond?
No,
You can post no bond.
no, sir, I get paid once a month, and my bills, I pay my bills, and I'm broke. I have no money.
Well, convince me that you're going to come back to court, because you never came back to court on this OBI.
Well, I've taken care of my mother's house now. I live there, I'm the overseer of this place, and I'm the overseer to take care of this place. My mom lives in a nursing home.
She's been in a nursing home since 2005?
No.
Mr. McKnight, he wants you to promise him that you will be here and give him a promise that he can believe.
Well, here's what I think I'm going to do. This may solve the protection order issue too. I'm going to set your bond at $1,500 cash or surety, and that's because you did not come back to court before on your OBI when you owed fines and court costs for almost 20 years. So you're going to have to post some surety to guarantee your appearance. Your next hearing is going to be May the 8th.
I hate paying it.
Okay, well, then you'll sit in jail.
Yes, thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
Finish at the jail.
Okay, that finishes us up at the jail.
State of Ohio recalls David Keckner, case number TRC 221615 A and B.
Access to the jail.
All right, Mr. Finley is here for Mr. Keckner. Mr. Keckner is appearing by teleconference. This is, I have it down as a sentencing hearing today. So, Mr. Keckner, your attorney's presented some things to the court, a letter from Monica Sarang, MD, something from,
Server link, Your Honor.
yeah, that's, okay, well, this is insufficient as far as the court is concerned. I need more detailed information about what treatment you're undergoing, and it's going to have to be very specific, because that's required in Ohio.
Yeah, Judge, when we sentence him, he just got started. What I'll do is I'll get Mr. Keckner to sign some authorizations for me, and I'll make a formal request for full file, full treatment records on each of these.
Okay, well, let's come back in about a month to let you have an opportunity to gather those records
Okay.
presented to the court. What's your schedule like in mid-May?
Mid-May. I've got, if you're looking at that third week of May, I'm tied up in a trial that week, Judge, but the following week is good for me. I could do the 26th if that's...
All right, Mr. Keckner, are you available on May 26th?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you want to keep it at noon?
Yeah, we'll keep it at noon, Judge, that's fine.
All right, next hearing will be May 26th at noon for sentencing. Mr. Keckner may appear by teleconference.
Judge, would you like me to forward that information somehow to like the probation department before that time so you got a chance to review that?
You can file it with the court before.
Okay, all right, I'll do that.
Thank you.
State of Ohio recalls Brian W. Webb, case number CRA 2832, PRD 2761, PRD 2015-55, PRD 2135-14 A and B.
Okay, it's a good screen for Mr. Webb. So, we're back on track. And are you back at Family Medical?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. because after the last hearing, I sent some information to them. They did not give me a report today, which tends to be the case these days. So I will ask for a report. I'm going to assume that with your screen it's appropriate. Come back in another month.
Sure.
The 19th?
For sure. Thank you.
Is that a good date, Mr. Morford?
I believe so, Judge.
Yes. According to,
Yes, sir.
I've got a little note with the dates you're here. May 19th will be the next hearing.
Thanks, Sean.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome.
State of Ohio recall Tracy to admit case number TRC 22548, A, B, and C, TRC 202272, A, B, and C, TRC 2135.2, A, B, and C.
Mr. Morford?
Judge, he continues to do well in counseling. What do you see about that?
Okay. I'd like for him to do your screen today.
Yes, sir.
State of Ohio recalls Stephen Stanley, case number CRB 23148,
Stephen Stanley.
CRD 193337A and B, CRC 191194, CRB 19329.
He's in the holding cell. All right, Mr. Stanley, what do you have to say for yourself?
Your Honor, there's no change in anybody's life unless you progress forward, obviously. I have moved away from bad people, bad things, into a new area. I've got a new job. And my rehab services, my job are both within 2 miles from AUS and church, where maybe I could do some community service. And this coming Saturday, I'll make a drive down here just.
Where are you living now?
Wheelersburg, Ohio, 200 Chickens.
Your Honor, she did take a drug screen, came back positive for Suboxone, benzos, which she said takes Xanax, and alcohol, which he said was, he took some cough syrup.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Healy?
Well, I believe that the community service was still owed from 2019 from an old case. And, we wanted to get that done. We know he was, I think anyway, ordered to come here every day or something like that, or every Saturday.
Yeah, he did. He didn't do anything. So.
And I don't
make you nervous?
Very nervous.
Not nervous enough?
No, I'm very nervous, sir.
And he's supposed to be with Sparrow Health.
I did get a letter from them,
Okay.
March 24th.
It's a long
That's
time.
it.
That was the last thing you received, Your Honor?
That's all I have.
I guess what we would want to have happen is to have another hearing set within a short period of time, have him be able to report some community service being done between now and then, and get a written report from Sparrow showing that he's continuing with them.
Are those things you can do, sir?
Yes, sir. I would also like to state that the next time that I come in, I am interested in taking a Vivitrol shot and also getting Suboxone.
Okay, well, you'll have to arrange that with your provider.
Yes, sir. Yeah, but I will be here and I'll be getting community service done and fine today before you see me next.
May 12th? Someone's got their hand up.
I'm the wife.
Is that a problem?
No, I just have a question, because I do a lot of his transportation for him. Where we're in Millersburg, is he still allowed to do community service down there? Like,
Your Honor, they came after the last hearing and asked me about doing community service in Soda County, and I told them our standard nonprofit and this, that, and the other. I was not aware of the order to be here on Saturday.
Well, you didn't do any of it, so it doesn't matter. All right, May the 12th. He can do it in his home area for a legitimate charity, or he can do it at Scioto County Court, or he can come here.
thank you.
Thank you, I appreciate your time.
Okay, he can be released. May 12th is your next hearing.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir, I appreciate it.
10 o'clock, May 12th.
Thank you.
State of Ohio recalls Jerry Morrison, case number CRD 23233.
The state was going to try to get a hold of Cheryl Gerald.
Listed as her own special house. This is his wife. Cheryl does not have a work phone number. Rose, which is her mom, wants her husband home. Cheryl comes a case when she wants. Rose hasn't seen her from yesterday. And Rose doesn't, Cheryl doesn't have a permanent address. She just lives here and there. So we can do the picture on her, but she says she doesn't have a permanent address when she comes in here. So she does want her husband.
Okay. All right, so Mr. Morrison's, yeah, but he's Cheryl too.
Stepdaughter.
Stepdaughter, but she's
Stepdaughter.
raised her.
Okay, stepdaughter, but he's been a father figure, I guess, forever, since she was little or whatever. We're not able to speak with Cheryl because she doesn't have a phone and she wasn't there at home. However, Jasmine spoke with Rose, who is Jerry's wife, is that right?
Pardon? Rose.
Rose is your wife?
Roseanne?
Roseanne, okay. So anyway, she says that Cheryl comes and goes as she wants, and that Rose hasn't seen her since yesterday, that Cheryl doesn't have a permanent address, and Rose wants Jerry home. So, there you go.
I'll be with her.
Okay, so we'll not issue a protection order. It's
And that's-
really not Cheryl's residence anyway.
Right.
Cheryl has a pretty long history with this court. And that behavior that you described doesn't sound good in the context of patterns we've seen with her in the past. So, when do you want to come back for a pretrial then?
19th? I
With
think
time waiver.
Time waiver? Yes, sir.
Finished request, case is set for May 19th for pretrial, 10 o'clock.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Yes, sir. Right here. You're ready to go.
Okay. We're waiting on Tracy. You're free, Mr. Moore.
Thank you, sir.
I'm going to go ahead and meet with my volunteers and get Tracy Vance's urine screen, which I don't have yet, and I'll come back and do it. I can meet with volunteers and then just have that one case with Mr. Dement to clear up.
I do need to be at County Municipal Court around 1 o'clock, Judge.
Okay, well, hopefully that should happen.
Thank you.
Might get it. Hurry Mr. Dement along.
All right. Did you tell her mom to have her call?
I'll call her mom because her mom told me to call her. So I'm not calling her now, just tell her she told us
Rather be fishing.
Well, no kidding.
Josh said he caught quite a few yesterday, you know, ponds down at
Strip mines, yeah.
I wanted to go yesterday afternoon down to Yatesville, but grandsons had to have their baseball picture made and stuff. I said, you're not going by yourself.
Well, the weather's going to be good here through the middle of the week.
Yeah.
I'm supposed to go next Saturday, and it's supposed to up towards Columbus, and it's supposed to be like 50 degrees, but I'm going to go.
If they're in the Maumee River, they've been, catching their limits of walleye.
Yeah, that's what I hear.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
I love it. Yep, have a good week.
You too.
Be back in Cleveland next Friday. Keep me in your prayers.
I will, definitely.
Mr. Dement's screen will be ready anytime the judge is ready.
All right. Mr. Dement's screen shall be ready. It's judge ready.
Oh, no. I think the speaker's talking too, right?
Hold on a minute. Turn YouTube on.
YouTube still on too. There.